Hi, ladies. Welcome to the Business Woman's Way with the Whole Brain Success System. I am Cappi Pidwell. I'm the founder and the creator of the Business Woman's Way and the Whole Brain Success System. And in this masterclass today, I'm going to give you some really powerful solutions, tips, and insights to why your business might not be growing at the rate you want it to or that you desire it to. And I'm going to recommend you grab a pen and paper or get your iPad or your computer out because you're probably going to want to take some notes here. And I'm really excited you're here today. Just know that I've spent the last 30 years as a master of NLP and hypnotherapy. I'm a speaker and I'm an author. And I really am excited to share these subconscious secrets with you and the power so that you can actually match your inner game to your external strategies and the systems that you probably know very, very well. I'm sure you're very experienced, very knowledgeable, and just incredible at what you do. So let's dive in. I want to start with sharing that everything starts with your mindset. This circle here on the screen is kind of a small image, but you'll get the gist of it. It basically tells you what research has told us for years, that your conscious mind is only 5 to 10% of your mindset and your subconscious mind is 90%. Why we're not all learning this, I don't know. But your conscious mind in the 5 to 10% is where your logic lives, right? This is where you think all day, you're in your head, you're trying to analyze, maybe you get analysis paralysis, maybe you're trying to find a solution and make more money or get to that next level. Even if you're making money, you want to just hit that next level of success for yourself. And this is where you're trying to make the change. The other 90% of your mind, as you can see, is your subconscious, and it's running on autopilot. I put these little images in there because those are your programs, those are your beliefs. So maybe you grow up with programs like, I don't want to be pushy, right? Women often unconsciously really seek approval. A lot of women avoid being seen, some are overseen. A lot of women really want to be liked. They want to be part of the tribe, if you will. And again, these come from a long time ago when you're a little person getting conditioned and programmed. This is all running in your subconscious mind. Okay. So, also, if your subconscious mind has a belief like, oh, I can't make a lot of money, or I do make a lot of money. And if I want to go to that next level, it's going to mean less time or less family time or more stress or more hustle or grind. You will not do it because do the math. 90 is the subconscious, 5 to 10 is logic. The subconscious mind always, always wins. So it's important to understand this is where your limiting beliefs live. And that's why it's hard for us to break habits. And just understand that you can't outwork your subconscious beliefs through using logic alone. And this is what a lot of people are teaching you, think positive, do affirmations, do all this logical work. And yet you end up absolutely exhausted, drained, depleted, probably spinning 10 plates at the same time, and maybe you're not where you want to be. And this only changes through rewiring. And that's what I do. And we really want to rewire you and then step into the next 9 steps I'm going to share with you on why we have been taught to build a business in our all masculine energy. And we really want the blend of feminine and masculine. So let's take a look at this next slide. It's really important. Traditional business and sales training have been taught by men because they've been in business longer than us. It makes sense, right? It was created for men to be implemented by men, and often it's taught by men. And if you think about it, it still is. There's so many men on these giant platforms. You can think of some of the biggest speakers out there. They're men still saying, take massive action and, do the things like a man. And, they're not saying that, but that's kind of the energy behind it. And I can tell you, traditionally, women don't build business like this. Men are teaching us to push harder, overcome objections, make 50 calls a day, stay focused, all those things. And again, that works so good for the masculine energy or a woman who's more masculine. But most women in business today are getting so burnt out because of this. They're not being taught these techniques I'm sharing. We build business different, ladies. Our superpower, our natural power is to collaborate. It is to carry and share our warmth, to complement each other. And it's often why pushing harder and reading scripts and doing things that grind hustle way doesn't feel good for us. I know when I was in corporate sales, they were teaching me all that stuff, and I was like, I can't even get behind it. And it's taken me 30 years to really master this system, the whole brain success system, to teach women to use their masculine energy where it matters. And I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. But again, in the traditional training, we're not blending, and we need the blend. We need the masculine power, the masculine structure with our femininity. So I promise you, there is another way for you to grow your business and make a lot of money, but it's not through traditional training. I've studied this for so many years because I am a master of neurolinguistic programming, and women have different brains. We think different, we are different, we connect different. I mentioned a collaboration connection. We also feel what's unspoken. Our intuition's very loud, right? And we need to feel safe in what we're doing, no matter what we do for a living. We have to have that energy and that connection with the person that makes us feel heard, feel seen, and absolutely understood. If that doesn't happen, there's kind of a disconnect for most women. And I'm not saying all and every, I'm saying the majority. I also want to emphasize, if you're too much in your feminine energy in business, in sales, this is where women can get in trouble. This leads to things like procrastination or overthinking about something forever, avoiding following up because they don't want to be too pushy, maybe under earning, maybe over giving. Oh, I have so many stories I could tell you. Feeling uncomfortable maybe asking for the deal or asking for a referral, those types of things. And this is where a ton of business gets lost. And this is why my steps, the whole brain success system, so critically important. So we really want to step into that whole brain blend, combining your subconscious mindset training, which is where I start everybody because I help people get rewired. I say, don't just get inspired, get rewired. But then we want to take the whole brain 9 steps in the system. So I don't just talk about the problem or the challenge you have, like most coaching programs and training programs, and how many sales meetings have you been to, or your manager keeps telling you to do the same thing, but you're still not there. If it was just logic alone, ladies, we'd all be where we want to be. Every single person here would be there. But that's the difference between NLP and hypnotherapy and the subconscious, which I showed you that 90%. That's really where I work because we want to neutralize some of those old programs and some of those old emotions in your mind so that you get new outcomes. All right, we're going to dive into step number 1 here. Take some notes here. Really good stuff. So the whole brain blend success system that I created was after working with thousands of people, both men and women, going to thousands of training and speaking on thousands of stages. I really see the difference in how we operate, how we build, and how we monetize. Step 1 is the attraction and the first contact. This is where we connect. This is primarily feminine energy, ladies. We're talkative, we collaborate. I'm not going to read everything on the screen, but you can see we're building rapport, we're feeling things out. This is feminine energy. That's why picking up the phone and, reading a script feels so yucky to us because that is not how we build. We build through emotional intelligence, intuitive listening, and I just want to remind all of you, don't pitch here. This is not about pitching. This is about building rapport and really leveraging your feminine superpower. All right. Step 2 in the selling process of a whole brain success system. I love sharing this information. Step 2 is feminine. You can see this is a deeper connection. You're discovering more. All feminine energy. You want to ask more about their specific goals. Listen deeply and understand people. You might be mirroring either their language or their body, and you really want to draw out people's dreams. Don't start selling yourself. Don't start saying, I have a machine or I have a lotion or a potion or a product. People don't care yet. They really don't. You want to get into what do they need help with. It's why I do discovery calls with people. My job is to discover if that person has a need, they have the desire, they've tried everything else out there, are we a right fit together? So this is your feminine superpower. Use it. Let people feel understood and heard and find relatable things and make sure you can help them. If you can't help them, don't start handing them and sharing your potion and lotion or product or whatever, right? It just turns people off. Nobody likes to be sold. Now, here's a mistake that women often make during this time is they start over giving advice. Oh, you should try this. You should do this instead of drawing the other person's problem out. you're, feeding too much into that. Okay. All right. So let's look at step number 3. This is mostly masculine energy. This is where we want to utilize our masculinity because remember, everybody has both feminine and masculine energy. But women, if you are pushing too hard and you're grinding it out and you're living in masculinity, one of the things I say on a lot of my YouTube videos is a lot of women tell me, Cappy, I have, very great career, make a ton of money, and men are intimidated by me. I can tell you they're often not intimidated by you. I think a powerful man loves a powerful woman. Those women are often not in their feminine energy. They're just plowing everybody over being too masculine, not conscious of it, by the way. So there is a blend. Just remember the whole brain success system. You want both. They're both really, really important. Step 3, qualification and decisions to move forward. Again, using this. This is where your leadership really begins, ladies. This is where you decide, is this my ideal client? Do we have a connection? Do they need help with what I offer? Okay. Can you solve their biggest problem? That's what matters here. This is where you shift from a conversation and a connection to more specific direction. So, do I want to move forward with this person? Like I said, can I solve their problem? Is there a mutual interest or benefit for both of us? If there's not, don't start sharing your solution. They might not need it. It might not be the time. It just might not be for them. Masculine energy brings structures. This is where many women hesitate. This is all unconscious. They wait for the client to suggest the next steps or the potential person, or they walk away. And then there's no sale or opportunity for the meeting. So I see this happen a lot. Just make sure they're aligned and again that they need what you have. And then, of course, the next step, which is a very feminine energy, ladies, believe it or not. This is where you want to suggest the next step, right? This is during the meeting, hold the space. Again, you're not selling yet here. I see this happen all the time. I was at this networking thing a few weeks ago, and this lady just starts selling me her stuff before she could even pronounce my name. And it just whoop, we just go, we're done. It just doesn't work. Just ask really good questions. Just remember that feminine presence creates trust and a deeper level of connection if it's real and if you can help them. You are not there to be their therapist or their friend. You're there to lead them toward the next step for them, a solution for them. Only if they meet the criteria above, which I just talked about, right? If they seem like a fit, if there's some potential there, then you'd want to take that next step and clarify the gap. A lot of people miss this step. Where are they? Where do they want to be? And what is the cost of them staying the same? So many times people are so worried about the cost of their product or their program, or people are like, oh my God, it's that much. But how much does it cost someone to stay stuck for another year? How much does it cost someone to not do anything about their problem for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years? I can't tell you how many people I see a year later and they're like exactly where they were when I met them at an event or something. It just blows me away that people think something outside of themselves is going to change their outcomes. Once in a blue moon, it does, but mostly no, it's up to you. You want to help them break their patterns or their problems to get a solution. And that's all sales is. It's leadership. If they're not for you, I know for me, I'd rather know that they're not and move on to the next person who is ready for me. I don't want to keep that brain drain in the back of my head going, oh, I got to follow up with that person, or oh, I didn't connect with this person. And so many women do this. So this step is really important. You're clarifying the gap. So the good questions to ask is, where are you? Where do you want to be? What's the cost of staying the same? This requires masculine clarity. So you could say something like, what I'm hearing you say is you're at X, you want to be at Y, but the gap is costing you this. How long have you tried to solve this problem? How long have you been sick? How much have you spent at the doctor or whatever? How much money have you spent on coaching and you're still not making the money, right? Those are the kinds of questions I could ask. This is really, really powerful to lead them to understand they're not solving their problem. And if you can help them, then you want to clarify for this. All right. So now we're going to move into step number 6, which is presenting the offer. This is very masculine energy. Ladies, no apologizing here. Don't be saying, oh, I'm sorry I have to go through all this paperwork, or I'm sorry my fonts aren't bigger, whatever. Women over apologize all the time, and it's really annoying. You just want to be direct, calm, and very clear in your presentation, in your offer to your solution. And don't over explain things. Here's what I do, here's how much it is. That's how it works. and no price justification. Oh, it's this much because of this, or I'll discount it this. Just be clear, stand behind what you do and the value you bring to people, and know that you can create the change for people if they're your ideal client. So I always say closing is not a force, it's getting people clear with a direction that works for them, and it's really helping people move forward. And here's a big add on to this slide. So many people get stuck staying on the fence. Your job is to really help them get off the fence. It's either yes or no, even if they need to think about it, which I'll get to in just a second. All right. So the next step, step 7, is asking for the decision. Again, getting somebody off the fence. This is masculine energy and where 90% of women collapse. Okay. This is just so important. Instead of, "Oh, what do you think about this?" or "How do you feel about that?" which is where most women go when they're trying to close. And unconsciously, they're thinking they might not like you. You're seeking their approval. You're hoping you get the deal. But you need to remember, ladies, you're in your power right now. You're in your leadership. You're not being a bee. If you ask for the deal, if you help them make a decision, you're helping them get clear. So you could say something like, "Are you ready to go ahead and get started today?" And then hold the silence. Let them decide. Let them go with their gut. You don't need to talk them into it. Silence is masculine containment. Men are very good at this. You don't want to fill the space with nervous talking or over explaining or discounting or getting nervous here. You simply ask questions and allow them to make a decision. This area right now, this can take two directions. One is they say, "Yeah, I'm ready," and they sign the deal or the contract and they get started. The other one is they need to think about it. They need to discuss it. Maybe they need to move money around or, go to the bank or whatever they need to do. So here's one of the ways I work with that for people is they say, "I want to discuss it. I need to think about it." So here's what I tell people. Well, you're already going to be thinking with your old model that's keeping you stuck. So here's my suggestion. I want you to think about it for an hour. Get a pen and pencil or computer and write down the value, the benefits, the things you like, some of the things you're afraid of. I guarantee those fears are old fears you've had around everything when it comes to change. So think about it for an hour, maybe 2, 3, just give them a time frame. And then you decide. And then how about if I call you in 3 hours? That's it. It's either yay or nay. But when people stay stuck and people are indecisive, it really just keeps people repeating that same pattern. And I know for me, if they stay there too long, they're definitely not my client because I want people who are ready for real change. I want people that are ready to take action, who really need the help, who are open to coaching. There's steps, right? There's a process. And if people want to hit that goal or get that mark, they've got to do the work. I can't do it all. I can teach people, I can show people, I can rewire, I can give them the products and the programs, but if they're not willing to do the work, that's not a good match. You just want to help them be the leader, let them make the decision, and really help them get clear. Really important that they're clear on their decision. All right. Step number 8 in the whole brain success system. I hope you're enjoying this. If you are and you're watching this, leave a comment for me, please. Let me know a thumbs up. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I never realized this. I never even understood this. Really, really good for me to know and get your input. I appreciate it. So, step number 8 is the follow up. So, let's say, like I said, you tell them 3 hours, and follow up is certainty. That's all it is, you guys. You're not bugging them, you're not chasing them, you're not bothering them. You are leading them to a decision that could change their life, that could make them money, that could get them an outcome for the rest of their life if your stuff works, right? Don't be selling stuff if you can't get behind it. So it's important that you don't call and say, "Hi, so and so, I'm just checking in. How are you? I hope you talked to your husband." This is a very feminine, passive way where the women often collapse. So you want to use a masculine structure with a feminine tone. So you want to say something like, "Hi, so and so, I'm checking in to see if you're ready and that you've made your decision." That's it. "Give me a call back at blah, blah, blah. And are you ready to get started? I'm super excited to work with you and help you get your outcome, help you increase your income, help you get healthy, whatever that is." So just make sure that if you call with the energy of "I'm bothering them" or "I'm pushy and I don't want to sound," oh my gosh, those are the words you're communicating. "Oh, I hope, call me when you get a chance." It just doesn't work. Be a leader. This is so powerful, ladies. I will tell you, most women lose 30 to 50% of all their sales right here because they either disappear, they're too fearful to ask with a confidence and a clarity to get the job done. And they're afraid to ask if they've decided or made a decision because they don't want to hear the word no. So I just want to encourage you and let you know no doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that person's not ready yet. Again, you've heard that. Maybe later they will be, whatever. But most of the time, when people say they need to think about it and I'll call you, it's not a common thing where they do. They kind of go right back into that subconscious stuff where they stay stuck. And again, remember, your subconscious always does what feels familiar. So if people are fearful of spending money, they'll go into that fear. If people are fearful of making change, they'll go into that. This is your job to break the pattern. I do it all the time for my clients. And it's so important to get people on stuff to take those steps and hold their hand through the process so they get the change they're seeking. You solve the problem that they're paying you for. Okay. So you really want to help them make the next steps and you don't want to waste your time. Oh, I got to call this person again. I got to chase them around for 2 weeks. If somebody isn't ready, stick them in your CRM, put them on your newsletter list, give them some free resources. That's all great. You can stay in touch with them, but don't chase them and don't just stay stuck yourself because that's not going to help anybody. All right. We're almost done here, ladies. So the whole brain success system, number 9 is the expansion, the testimonial, and the referral. This is a blend of both energies. Here's where the feminine energy comes in. Oh, I didn't make that pink. You want to be in your appreciation of working with that person, of having the time with that person. Be in great gratitude, right? Be grateful. This is the relationship nurturing. You might have fun with this person. You might have a good connection, and maybe you invite them to an event or something. And like I said, put them on your newsletter and stay in touch, send them some videos. Masculine energy is then stepping in and asking clearly for a referral. So this is important to understand too. You don't want to be vague and on the back of your card say, I love referrals. Oh my gosh, that is just so old school to me. So you want to say something like, I'd love a testimonial from you. Would you be willing to shoot a 1-minute video or could I come by your place and shoot it on my phone? Make it easy for them. Not just a 1-minute video of what your experience was in working with me. And then you have that. You want to request a testimonial. And then you can always invite a renewal. Maybe in 12 months, can I check back in 6 months? If you want to buy, if you want to invest, if you have a family or friend who need my services, if you're a real estate agent, if you're somebody like me, do you have other people that you work with or know that could use my coaching service, the rewiring, the sales and success steps? So it's always just asking those right questions because other people know people that you don't. And there's a lot of people that need help. I'm going to invite you to share this video if you know somebody who needs help. I'll share my solutions with you in a moment. I have a free call that you can book with me if you're interested, and just share the love, share the joy. There's not a lot of people out there that do what I do with the selling business structure and success system with the subconscious training included in it. So this is not traditional how-to coaching. Even though I do that every single week, I hold your hand and I coach you and I create your strategies, I make your sessions. I do a lot for my clients. That whole subconscious thing is a game changer. All right. So this is the whole brain success system. Those are my 9 steps. And there's steps in the sales, but step number 1 is always your mindset. Here's the subconscious reasons why women hesitate in business and sales. They fear rejection. They fear of being disliked. They fear losing a connection. They're really wanting and seeking approval. They're not wanting to feel pushy or salesy. And there's about 20 more on here, but I couldn't fit them on the slide, which means this isn't a sales problem. So you don't suck at selling. You're smart at your business. It really is a subconscious block mindset issue. And women get in a lot of fear of these subconscious things, and then they get frozen or they don't level up. And this is where I can help you break those things. So I want to have you look at your next chapter because I truly believe and know it starts right here. And you have to ask yourself the question, are you ready to grow your business the woman's way, the whole brain way? And I'll share with you how that looks and how it works. So I have 2 different ways that you can work with me live. You can determine the right path for your business success. The first way is I have a 6-week group program. This is done live on Zoom, and we meet every week for 6 weeks. I rewire your subconscious around money, stress, a lot of these limiting beliefs inside. These are live calls, and I make the sessions live. You also get access to a Facebook group where I post the videos of me coaching in case you miss a call, and you get the MP3. So you're listening to subconscious rewiring through the whole process of the 6 weeks. This isn't a group though. So this is not one on one. I'm not making you personal sessions, I'm making them for the group. I keep these groups very small because it's personal and I really like to create for the people in the group. The second way to work with me is my 90-day one on one. This is a luxury one on one high end program. It's more success in 90 days or less. This is a 90-day program, and I work with you every single week for 90 days. It's an intensive class, it's powerful, but I make you the specific subconscious sessions for you. I also build you a blueprint with smart strategies that monetize you, that allow you to get behind the activities instead of that shoving, push hard, grind whole thing that we were taught. I create what I call smart strategies for you. And then a system I've created called share selling so that you use those feminine powers where you need to. You build your business faster, you get a lot of free leads, and you can close with much more ease. That is my 90-day one on one program. Okay, ladies, this is the price for both programs. The 6 week is $29.97, and then my one on one is $12K. So it's a few grand a month for 90 days. Okay. So if you're interested in these programs, since they're both a connection call with me, I'm going to give you my calendar link. It's right there on the screen. You can just shoot that QR code with your phone. That will take you to my calendar. You can book a call with me. It says on the link 60 minutes, but it's actually 30. I don't know why it says that. Anyway, it's a 30-minute live Zoom call where we'll jump on, find out what best fits your needs, and then you can start coaching with me either in a small group that I start or in the one on one. I also want to mention I have a website, obviously. It's cappipidwell.com. You can also go, I say, buy me in a box. You can get sessions on my website. I have a rewire your money mindset. If money's your issue, it's only 97 bucks. But that's not me. I'm not making the products. I'm not coaching you. I'm not creating the strategies and teaching you all this stuff. It's just a subconscious rewiring. It's a great place to start if you're not in a position to invest in coaching for yourself. And then I also wanted to mention, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's probably where you met me or saw me through one of my other videos. So please make sure you comment too. I'd love to get your feedback and help you however I can. And then I also wanted to mention really quick in LinkedIn, if you go to LinkedIn, Cappi Pidwell, I have a group in there that I go on once a month for free, and I do Q&A, I answer questions, that type of thing. That is the Business Woman's Way on LinkedIn. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed this session today. And I hope that you got tremendous value just really understanding the feminine masculine energy and mastering your subconscious mind, the woman's way to grow your business super fast. I look forward to talking with you. Go ahead and book a call and let's see where you belong, what fits your needs the best, so I can help you make money and change and rewire you today forever, ladies. I can't emphasize that enough. This lasts forever. So, yes, it's an investment, but people typically make their money back with me in the first 90 days. So, that's always my goal for my clients. So, I'll see you soon. Thanks so much.